Hey guys, welcome to JoberTech channel. In today's video, we're going to take our phone authentication to the next level. We'll be focusing on refactoring our code. If you remember from our previous videos, we've built a phone authentication system, integrated Firebase, and got it working smoothly on both iOS and Android platforms. But as our project grows, it's crucial to keep our code clean and organized. That's what we're tackling today. We'll be structuring our code to separate the logic from the UI, making it more testable, manageable, and scalable. This is the case steps to build a professional and robust application. We're aiming for a clean, modular, and scalable architecture. This is essential because as our app grows, it should be easy to maintain and extend without causing bugs that can be hard to track. So here is the diagram of our auth flow that we want to implement. As you can see, we have four main components: our UI or the sign-in screen, the SigninScreenController class, a SigninService class, and finally, the AuthRepository class. So let's break it down how these all work. Our UI class or the sign-in screen is the beauty of our app. Its sole responsibility is to display data and the design of our UI. It's completely decoupled from the logic, which means it doesn't know anything about what's happening behind the scenes. Next, we have this SigninScreenController class. Think of this as the director of a play. It's responsible for handling the synchronous operations and signaling the UI to show a loading indicator, data, or errors. And it only depends on the SigninService class. Moving right here in the SigninService class, this class is like our backstage manager. It holds all the logic that our controller isn't responsible for, and it's not the responsibility of the AuthRepository class. It's our communicator, talking to various repositories and service classes. For example, checking the internet connection before making an API call. And finally, we reach the AuthRepository class. This is our gatekeeper to Firebase Auth. It's the only class that is allowed to communicate directly with the Firebase Auth, keeping our calls to Firebase centralized, neat, and tidy. With this kind of architecture, our responsibilities are clear and well defined. If we need to change our authentication backend, there's no need to touch the UI class, controller class, and the SigninService class. We just swap our auth repository. It's like changing the engine of a car without having to redesign the entire vehicle. Plus, this architecture makes it super easy to write tests, as we can easily swap out the dependency of our auth repository class with a mock Firebase Auth. Moreover, this architecture isn't just about keeping things neat. It has some serious practical benefits. This includes readability. It makes our code cleaner and more understandable. This is crucial especially when you're working in a team. It allows other developers to quickly understand and start contributing to your project. Reusability. By separating concerns and creating distinct focus classes, we make it easier to reuse components in different parts of our app, or even in the complete different project. Feature proofing. This architecture provides a robust structure, making it easier to add new features or make changes down the line without breaking existing functionality. It's like building a house with a solid foundation. It stands the test of time. So with this architecture, not only we are creating an efficient and organized codebase, but we're also setting ourselves up for success in the long run. So with all that said, let's go ahead and put all this in practice. We'll start by creating AuthRepository class and work our way up to the SigninController class. Watch and learn, guys. Take note that this verification failed method needs to pass an exception of type Firebase Auth exception. But this Firebase Auth exception is a Firebase Auth specific class which we don't want to propagate outside of this file. So what we're gonna do is to create our own app exception class and pass the app exception instead of the Firebase Auth exception. Since we are seeing a code duplication here, we want to extract the duplicate codes to make our code dry. So let's create an util method for that. If you're not familiar with these providers, I have separate video explaining how to create a provider for a class. Please check the link to that video in the description below. Guys, if you're not familiar with this controller pattern using this StateNotifier subclass in conjunction with StateNotifier provider, I have separate video showing how to use StateNotifier provider and another video that walks you through the use of StateNotifier provider to handle asynchronous state of the UI in Flutter. This is the most common pattern that I used to handle and manage asynchronous operations in all of my projects. The links to the videos are in the description below, so make sure to check that out. There you go, guys. We have now created the classes that we need. So what we need to do next is to remove all the logic inside our UI and call the methods of our SigninScreenController class. But take note down here that after successfully signing in the user, we are pushing the home screen using Navigator 1.0 to redirect the user to the home screen. But like what I've said in my previous video, this is just a temporary to show how the authentication flow works. So let's address this. What we're gonna do is to create a landing page. This landing page responsibility is to only watch the auth state changes and return the home screen when the user is signed in and return sign-in screen otherwise. This ensures that only sign-in users can have access to the home screen. So let me delete this and create our landing page. There you go. I think everything is now in place. And as you can see, our code is neat. And here in our sign-in screen, we can see that our code is now clean, easy to understand, and free from any business logic. So let's start our app and test if it's working correctly. As you can see guys, the loading is working correctly. Let's try to throw an error to see if our error handler is working correctly. Okay, perfect. The alert dialog pops up as expected. Let's proceed with the sign in to see if our landing page that we created is working. And voila! Everything works as expected. In this video, we aim to refactor our phone authentication in Flutter to be more testable, manageable, and scalable. We've separated the business logic from our UI, creating a clean and organized structure. This will make future modifications easier and your codebase more maintainable. It's a great pattern that you can extend to other features of your app as well. So what's next? Maybe you can try adding more authentication methods or integrate this with a backend to store user profiles. The sky is the limit, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this video helped you out, please give it a big thumbs up, share it with your fellow Flutter enthusiasts, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more awesome content.